I'm Juliana and this is Francesco, and we're on the first part of our 2-week journey around the Sicilian island, and our first stop is in Lipari, and we love it here. So to catch you up, our journey went like this. We first, of course, had to hop on a plane to get across the ocean. We started in Rochester, and then we went to Washington, D.C., across the ocean, all the way to Rome. From Rome, we hopped on another flight, and then we went to Palermo. We picked up our rental car and drove to Milazzo. From Milazzo, we took the boat to the Aeolian Island. We went to Taormina and then drove to Mount Etna. From Mount Etna, we came down the mountain and went back to Taormina. We took the car and went to Aci Castello to find some nice beaches, and then across to Enna to Asoro the next day. After that, we went to Colasano and made our way back to Palermo for a quick trip to get our bags, and then down to Agrigento. From Agrigento, we went to Scoglietti. We loved the beach there. From Scoglietti, we drove to Modica and Ragusa, and then we next found ourselves making TikTok videos on the island over Tigera in Syracuse. From Syracuse, we went up to Catania, spent the night, and went over to Colasano as our last stop, where we had a big party, and then we drove up to our last stop where the PMO airport is in Palermo. And because we were celebrating my first time in Italy as an official Italian citizen, we took a couple photos along the way. Our first stop on our Sicilian adventure took us to the island of Lipari to check out their beaches, or spiaggia as they say in Italian, and to check out the island shops and restaurants in the town center, and to travel around to the rest of the island's mountain regions for stunning views by moped. To get there, we picked up our car from the Palermo International Airport, and we drove 2.5 hours on a highway to the small port of Milazzo, where we parked our car near the port terminal and took their free shuttle right to the port departures. We were so glad to have pre-booked the ticket online because it saved us. We saved the screenshots of the QR codes to our phone. Since we were running a little behind, it helped out a lot. There are 2 ferry lines to get to Lipari. One is fast and one is slow. The fast one takes 50 minutes on Liberty lines. This is the one I recommend taking. The other is for locals mainly, who are bringing their cars back and forth to the mainland. The fast one is pretty stable. It goes so quickly that people say it actually rises off the water. It's also pretty affordable at $40 per passenger for round trip. The slow option is to take the other company called Cymar, which is mainly to transport cars back and forth, so it's much slower. I don't recommend bringing your car with you to the island, since you can easily take public transportation or rent a scooter while you're there. The ferry dropped us off right near the most popular touristy streets located near the town center. The ferry dropped us off at Marina Lunga Harbor. Across the street, there's a pedestrian walkway where all the shops, nightlife, grocery stores, and businesses are located. You can also buy tickets for the attractions everywhere on the island. The cell phone coverage on the island was great. We were able to use our cell phones for GPS and for directions around the entire island. The next morning, we hopped on a crowded bus near the port and purchased a round-trip ticket for a few euros to go to Canneto, the rockiest beach ever. When I say rocky, I mean rocky. It was on the east shore. It was filled with smooth rocks that were large. They call them pebbles, but I would say they're much larger than pebbles. We had a great time swimming and taking photos on the beach in Canneto. After our swim, we rented a scooter across the street from the beach and started to explore the rest of the island. So here's how it works. In Lipari, you need a regular driver's license to rent a moped scooter there. We purchased the international driver's license from AAA before we left for our trip. They will let you rent the scooter without an international license, but if you get stopped by the police, you need it as proof. I showed my license, but they didn't rent to me since I said I had not drove a moped before, only a road bike. This might have saved our lives. The roads are steep and went up and down the mountains on sides of cliffs. Luckily, my Italian husband had practiced 20 years ago doing exactly this on the mountains in his hometown. He became the driver, and I enjoyed the ride as I hopped on the back. This is White Sand Beach, and this is a crazy steep road. I gotta like the sandy stuff over here. So we took the scooter to another beach called White Sand Beach. However, what we didn't know is that the sand was just all the way down to the beach on the road. But as soon as you got there, once again, because this is Lipari, there was tons of rocks. Here are a few facts about Lipari for those not familiar with the island. So Lipari sits in the northeast side of Sicily in the Tyrrhenian Sea. The beaches are filled with rocks, so water shoes are definitely a must. The Aeolian Islands, where Lipari is located, were originally formed by a chain of volcanoes similar to Hawaii. Lipari is the most populated and largest, with about 12,000 residents, but the number nearly doubles when the tourists come. The entire island covers around 23 miles and does not have an active volcano on it. However, it does have a really active nightlife with the pedestrian-only streets and shops, and restaurants open late at night. We loved it. We even bought a bathing suit at around midnight there. There's evidence of humans living on the island since 5000 BC, and it was used as a center for trading. On the beaches, you can wear whatever you want, but make sure to cover up as soon as you leave, because in 2013, the mayor created a law that would fine people 500 euros, that's about $700 in US, for people wearing bikinis, thongs, or swimsuits in the town centers. Even though it looks like a casual beach town, in Italy, Italians take their fashion seriously. After 2 nights on the island, we had so much fun, we were ready to leave. We took some photos at the port on the way back, and we wore out Francesco's parents to the max. In fact, they needed to sleep on the way back. I think we all slept on the way back. The ride felt like a cradle rocking us back and forth until we reached the port back to Milazzo to continue the rest of our journey around Sicily. Next stop, Taormina. We'll see you there.